Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy No Sleep here, and today I just wanted to check out this whole Chris Como, Frodo, Fredo, uh, bullshit. Because that's what this kind of is. It's all just a big pile of bullshit. So first, we could just watch this quick encounter with Chris Cuomo and some right-wing meme lord, um, and then we can go into another conservative right-wing meme lord, Michael Noel's. Try to explain why Chris Cuomo is in the wrong, and then after that, I'm going to do Michael Noel's job for him and actually explain why Chris Cuomo's in the wrong and kind of dumb and why this whole thing's kind of dumb in about 60 seconds. But let's just go ahead and get started.
I thought that's who you were.
No,
Honestly.
punk from the right call me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN.
Oh, you're much-
Fredo is from The Godfather. He was that weak brother.
Isn't that your
And they
brother,
use it
though?
as an Italian aspersion. Any of you Italian?
I'm a little
Are you
bit.
Italian?
I got a little
It's
bit.
a insult to your people. It's an insult to your people. It's like the N-word for us.
Well,
Yeah, the guy right here with the glasses on that's like called him Fredo is clearly just fucking with Chris Cuomo. And Chris Cuomo's taking this way too seriously. He's overreacting. He's being pretty irrational, right? It happens. Big deal. Well, let's hear what Michael Noels has to say about this.
Here is the irony of it all is that someone calls Chris Cuomo Fredo, and then Chris Cuomo gets angry about this, and his reaction is immediately to behave exactly like Fredo Corleone. Here he is from the movie.
I'm your older brother, Mike, and I was stepped over.
That's the way Pop wanted it.
It ain't the way I wanted it. I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Like dumb, I'm smart, and I want respect.
You called me Fredo, but I'm not Fredo, I'm smart. Hey, I got passed over for governor of New York, like my father Mario and my brother Andrew.
I mean, at least he doesn't have an IMDb page with no picture. Come on, dog, just post a picture on your IMDb page. You're so beautiful. Show it.
But I'm smart. I can do things. I can handle things. I'm not dumb like people think. That was almost word for word his response to this. Absolutely.
So we're nearly a minute in, and all we've seen from him is a clip from The Godfather to illustrate who Fredo is. Then an impression, well, two impressions, exactly the same impression, just twice. And then a weird little smile that was like, oh, wasn't I funny? I mean, you just did an Italian accent and was like, ha ha. Didn't Chris Como say those exact same words almost in that order? And to that I would say, not really, no. Like it's a bad attempt at comedy. Keep trying though. You'll get it eventually.
Hilarious.
Hi, I don't know who Hilarious is, but if you were trying to say hilarious, it's not what that was.
So then he doubled down. So he said this is a racial slur because that's just what the left does. They play the race card the minute.
Yes, Chris Como, the notorious lefty on CNN. Really? That's you're going with the stereotypical, well, this is just what the left does. Oh, this is just what the left does. Yet when Nazis organize in the streets and we're like, hey, maybe Nazis shouldn't do that, you guys freak out and be like, oh, well, dude, it's not all conservatives. Well, no, it's not all conservatives. It's just some Nazis. Right? No, but then you go around and do the, I'm just making sure you guys are staying non-consistent.
They feel threatened or they feel insulted or they feel like they can't answer you. CNN, though, the vice president and spokesman for CNN, Matt Dornick, doubled down on this as well. He wrote, quote, Chris Cuomo defended himself when he was verbally attacked with the use of an ethnic slur in an orchestrated setup. We completely support him.
Yeah, Matt Dornick is kind of a fucking moron for tweeting this. A better tweet would be like, this wasn't a big deal. Someone insulted Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo responded back. This doesn't really fucking matter. Like, honestly.
That first sentence is almost entirely false.
It's not necessarily that it's entirely false, it's just that they use really pretty words that really don't have any substance, that didn't mean anything. It's just, we're not going to discipline him. That's really all that means. We're just going to, like, not make a deal out of this. That's what they should have said, though. Not tied it up in a pretty little bow to sell it to people. Because we got to sound responsible. We have to sound intelligent without actually reporting news in a good way, or fairly, or honestly. And look, MSNBC and Fox are just as bad, if not worse. But they're all bad. You know, the mainstream media, where cable news is typically kind of bad. Because, you know, when you have 24-hour news, you gotta fill the time somehow. So you start to report on stories that are not really news. And those have become popular, and people just want to watch those. And, well, you're not doing your job.
There are three things there he said that just are ridiculous. Verbally attacked, ethnic slur, and orchestrated setup. He wasn't verbally attacked. Some guy called him Fredo. It's like a little passing insult. It's not an attack. We're not equating speech with violence here. He didn't go assault him. Chris Cuomo.
That's why he said verbally attacked, which is a pretty way of saying insulted, I guess.
Assaulted him. I mean, he literally threatened to do him physical violence, which we'll see in a second. But the guy didn't verbally attack him. He made fun of him. He said, hey, Fredo. Hey, look at you, Fredo. Then ethnic slur. It's not an ethnic slur. We showed that. And then orchestrated setup. No, it's not an orchestrated setup. They were at a restaurant. Here's what really happened. A dude at a restaurant saw Chris Cuomo and made fun of him. That's it. That's all it was. Not an ethnic slur, not orchestrated, a setup, not verbally attacked. Here's how, by the way. If you don't need to just take my word for it, even though I do have some expertise.
Because he's Italian. That's what he's saying here. He has expertise because he's Italian, which is a pretty dumb thing to say, because you wouldn't say that, like, oh, because someone's white, they are an expert on being white. I don't know what you're trying to say here, dog.
On this,
I'm genuinely confused.
Coming from New York, as someone of swarthy complexion, whose
He's saying he's Italian.
ancestors almost certainly paddled a sardine boat over from Palermo, you don't need to just take my expertise, because I have proof that CNN does not really think that Fredo is an ethnic slur, and that's because CNN contributors and guests have repeatedly used the term Fredo to make fun of Republicans. Not even Italian Americans, just Republicans. Here's fake Republican Anna Navarro using the term Fredo on Chris Cuomo's show to make fun of Donald Trump Jr.
Daddy kept Fredo back home, so who cares what Donald Trump Jr. says? Who cares what Donald Trump Jr. says?
All right, you know what?
I don't want to talk about.
Anna, you said.
So he's saying that, like, oh, well, CNN doesn't actually care. Yeah, they probably don't. But Chris Cuomo over here looks like he's about to rip this lady's jugular out. Look how mad this guy looks that she just used the word Frodo, whatever the fuck it is. He's pissed.
Title
But Anna,
little brat.
Is that a racial slur?
No, but we'll get into why, like the real reason why, here in a moment.
Is it a racial slur against what? The Scottish? The Trumps are Scottish, right? I guess Fredo's an ethnic slur against the Italians and the Scots. You know, I'm a little bit Scottish, too. I tell you, it's also not an ethnic slur against the Scots. Is it an offensive term toward Don Jr.? Yeah, well, they're basically calling Don stupid. Don, by the way, Don Jr. is in no way the Fredo of the Trump family, but that's neither here.
Can you repeat yourself? It's hard to hear you with Don Jr.'s pee-pee in your mouth.
Nor there. Probably just one time, though, right? Well, that's just one example, Michael. You're picking.
No, you don't need to give us two examples. You've successfully illustrated that CNN, at least the vice president of CNN, is kind of hypocritical, because news anchors have used that term before, so they can't really say that it is a racial slur or an ethnic slur, because they're not being consistent. Because then they shouldn't be saying ethnic slurs on their network. You've already successfully illustrated it. You don't need a second example, so skip. Alright, so now we're going to do what he should have done in about 60 seconds. So first of all, you just can quickly check Urban Dictionary. So the first top definition for Fredo on the Urban Dictionary is to be the black sheep in the family, like one that is the goof and the screw up. Came from The Godfather. Second definition, to bang two cocktail waitresses at the same time, adapted from The Godfather. Oh, okay. Number 3, dead as in dead to me, adapted by The Godfather. One who is untrustworthy. Someone who is considered the most dangerous, or whatever this means. Or whatever this means. None of these are really ethnic slurs towards Italians. Also, when was The Godfather made? 1972. When did most Italian immigrants start coming over to America? The 1880s to 1942, especially from 1900 to 1910. Why is that important? Because, typically when populations face discrimination is because large amounts of them come over here via immigration. We saw that with the Irish, and we did see that with the Italians. But it didn't carry over farther into the 70s. So a ethnic term to discriminate against Italians would not be really Fredo. And it has not really been commonly used at that. In fact, if we go back to the Urban Dictionary and go back a little bit, all of these links, except for the Urban Dictionary one, has been posted in the last 24 hours. And also, one last thing before we end and finish up. Sean Hannity. Fuck you too. I say good for Chris Cuomo. He's out with his 9-year-old daughter and his wife, and this guy is being a jackass in front of his family. I don't know what that means. Chris Cuomo has zero to apologize for. He deserves the apology. I mean, cool, valid opinion, I guess, but I don't agree. Chris Cuomo, I think, was in the wrong, I guess. He probably should have just, I don't know, brushed it off. Like, this is not how you deal with this. You don't get all angry and try to, lecture someone, especially when there's a camera in your face. But anyway, the only thing I wanted to illustrate here is that Michael Noels is a complete fucking moron. Also, get a real fireplace, you nerd. Also, put some shit on your desk, nerd. Also, buy a tie, nerd. But until next time, guys, peace. I'll probably be posting at least 2 videos today because I want to do some stuff today, and that means post 2 videos. So, I'm excited. Till next time, guys, peace.